All right, I'm Nick. Today we are going to talk about the first few things that I do to an Old Town pedal kayak, whether it is a Sportsman 120 PDL like this kayak, the 106, or the Big Water 132 PDL, or even the EPDL. There's a lot of kayaks, right? These are the first four things I do. I'm going to go through in order of importance realistically, okay? First, you need a spare propeller, okay? So I already tore this bubble wrap, but it'll come wrapped up in this bubble wrap. You have to have a spare, okay? It's just hard to count on the one you have. What if you hit a tree, you do something crazy, maybe you got to pull a fishing line off and you drop it. This thing does not float, it's gone, okay? So I want to show you how I store it. Not a big fan of, I know some guys, they want to store it on the outside of the seat and stuff like that. It doesn't work for me, okay? We've been storing it in here for a very, very long time. Super easy, simple to do. And this kayak's brand new, it's never been in the water or anything, okay? There's a little knot right here. If you take this knot and you untie it, and then you take your propeller, drop that in there, doesn't matter which way you do this, and you tie a little simple overhand knot. Don't tie it tight, not important. Now your propeller is in there on this cord. It'll suck on that cord anytime you need it. You still have the ability to get in here. I know you guys are kind of on the wrong side, but you still have the ability to get in the hatch no matter what. Very, very easy. And if you ever need a propeller, all you do is open this up. You can reach it very easily. You just untie that. You're good to go. You have a spare prop. That is an excellent place to store it. It costs you $0 to store it there. And I think the props are 12 bucks. You need a spare. You might even need two spares. It's worth having, okay? That's super simple. When you're done with that, we'll just button it back up, okay? Now we're going to come back to the pedal drive. The first thing that you should do with this is you should spray CRC. I'll put a link below to this, okay? We've made videos about this in the past. This is CRC heavy duty corrosion inhibitor. Forgot how to talk. I'll put this glove on just so I can go quick and move on with the video. You're going to remove this wing nut. Now we're not actually going to put that back on there. We're going to use a floating prop nut, but for now that's a good way to get rid of it. You're not going to need that star washer. So this is the shear pin. This thing is going to corrode over time, and what I recommend you do is you take this, shake it up, should be good enough for what we're doing, and then just give this a quality coating. This chemical, it actually gets tacky. It's not water soluble, and it'll stay on there. Next thing I do is I kind of just give this a little spray, and then it's kind of getting gooey already. You guys can see that. Once you put that back through here, the next time that you go to pull your prop, and we'll spray it a little bit more, you can't hurt anything. The next time you go to remove your prop, that shear pin will actually be stuck in that spot. That chemical will get tacky and it will hold it in place. Then you're good to go. So now when you go to put the prop back on, you have to index the prop with that shear pin. Sometimes people mess it up. I've received a lot of phone calls about that in the past. Hopefully you heard that click. The next thing we're going to do is, obviously we make these floating PDL nuts. We also make them for the autopilot and the MK. We're going to take this, we're going to take one out of there. We're going to put the spare right up there. And we're going to tighten this bad boy down. That way, this floats. So if we ever have to remove the propeller to change a broken propeller or to remove fishing line, we can quickly, easily get there. We don't have to worry about dropping that little black piece, which I did not drop on purpose. But if you did drop this one, it'll float in the water. You do not need the locking washer once you install that. It works the same way a nylon nut works, and when you tighten it down, it is absolutely good to go. From there, we're going to move back and we're going to tinker with the steering assembly a little bit. Now, we sell two things for this. The first, we'll talk about the rudder bolt. You can install the rudder bolt on the rear of the kayak without installing the steering knob. However, this little gray steering knob right here, it's very, very easy to get caught on your life jacket, your pants, whatever you're wearing. And then when you break it, you break this whole black assembly. And we ship out a ton of those spare assemblies, okay? So over the years, we figured out a long, long time ago, we could just remove this, get rid of this tension knob, replace the tension knob function with this bolt at the rear of the kayak and have a much better system. And that was the way the original pedal kayaks were shipped out. There was a bolt back there. We didn't really change anything crazy. We just took it back to how the system was intended to be used. So we're going to install this. And one of the questions we get all the time is, well, how do I get this top piece off? You could take, this is just a random drill bit. A drill bit, you're going to push in like that, and you're kind of going to break these tabs. They're just very flimsy. You could use a small screwdriver, but once you do that, this piece is going to pop right off. Okay, there's tiny little tabs in there. That's what holds it in place. For now, I'm just going to drop a bunch of random stuff, a bunch of random places. After that, Phillips head screwdriver. You just loosen this up. You're going to need to reuse this bolt, okay? We're going to get rid of all this stuff. We're going to remove this tension knob. We're going to take the steering assembly. We're just going to drop it in place like that. It's going to be a little bit of a tight fit. We're going to push it in. We're going to take the factory bolt. We're going to drop that in the rear. Take the supplied bolt and put it in the front. And then we're just going to tighten those down. And we make this accessory, the steering knob, we make it in a short and a tall. I definitely recommend the short. I prefer it. This is the short version. We make it in black. We make it in orange. After you get that tightened down, snug it on up. Don't got to go crazy. And that is done. So after that's done, we're going to come back here to the rear of the kayak. We have our rudder bolt right here. All right, super simple to install, but I'm going to give you guys some tricks. This is a Phillips head bolt with a 7/16" nut, so you could use a socket or a wrench, whatever works for you. First thing we're going to do, we're going to come down here, and there's this little split ring. It's pretty weak and flimsy. You don't need that anymore, so just get a hold of it and almost knock the kayak off the stand. But over the years, that is the easiest way to remove it. We're going to take the rudder, we're going to stand it straight up like this. We're going to take our screwdriver and we're just going to push it through here. Uh-oh, we're about to fall off the kick of the stand. No big deal, we're good. We're just going to push it through there like that. Now it'll stay in place, okay? It's the easiest way to do it. Probably should have did a better job of putting this stand on this hill. You're going to remove the nut, one metal washer and one nylon washer, and then you're just going to slowly, we'll set that right here. You're just going to slowly push the Phillips screwdriver out of the way. Now we get some questions about, well, that bolt is threaded. It's going to hurt the plastic. It's not. It's not at all going to cause you any problems. Sometimes people overthink things. I promise you that. We've been doing this for a long time. Now we're just going to take this system, remember, nylon, metal, and then the nut, put our screwdriver up top, put our wrench on the bottom. Now we're just going to tighten this down. Now our goal here, get it till it comes up so the washer doesn't spin. And you'll be able to adjust this as needed, okay? All right, so it's pretty stiff. That's not bad, okay? You're going to be able to adjust it to your personal preference. But once you get that where you want to get it, you come up here, and then you just see how heavy this is on your hand. So it could be a little too stiff right now. Now remember, it was just installed. It will loosen up a little bit. You can go back to the house. You can adjust it very easy after you do use it to how you want it. For now, I'm going to leave it where it is. I don't think I'll have any problems with that. I think it will loosen up a bit. Remember, this kayak's never been in the water, okay? So that's it. That's done. We kind of made a mess. We got random stuff everywhere. Probably be a little easier for you to do this one step at a time in your garage. We wanted to condense it all in one video. Spare prop. That is an absolute must-have, okay? The floating propeller nut right here, man, that really makes a huge difference. We ship out a ton of those. The CRC, this whole can's $13. You can buy it on the link to Amazon. You can go into like your local parts store, O'Reilly's, auto parts store, whatever you got. They probably have it, all right? Works wonderful. It's going to last you a lifetime. As far as spraying that shear pin, probably every 6 months. Or anytime that you pull that prop off there to check it for fishing line or anything like that, give it a spray. Obviously, we fish mostly saltwater. I do not do the most amount of maintenance on the kayak ever, okay? I don't spray it off at every fishing trip or anything like that. And this stuff lasts forever, okay? So that's that. If you guys have questions, I look forward to reading the comments. We will go in and add some stuff to this kayak. I'm not going to fish from it with just those 4 things. I'm going to replace that back left rod holder and put a forward-facing rod holder there instead of a rear. I'm going to replace these rails. I'm going to add spacers right here, and we'll do that in the next video. Just didn't think we could fit it all into one video, okay? So if you guys have any questions, leave a comment below. I look forward to reading them. Thanks for watching.